Hello, long time no see. We just got a new batch of babies. They were found in the parking lot at a radio station nearby in Richmond, and the radio personality who found them got her dad to come out on his day of work and drive them out to me. There were 5. There's 2 of those 5 were quite chilled, and you're not gone until you're warm and gone. So they're currently right here in my bra, warming up to body temperature. This is the quickest and safest way of doing that without burning skin. So they're just for my body heat, right against there. They've been there for about an hour. I don't think they're going to do any better than they are right now, but they're not warm yet, so we're going to keep them in there. This little guy right here, I just found had escaped from the burrow a moment ago and was right on the heat pad inside of the carrier. So we are going to feed for the first time. So what I do is I have my little scale here, and I just go by grams, and so I'll weigh them for their intake form, which I'll fill out later. Where's my pen? There we go. Then we'll feed, and then we'll weigh after. And taking notes on what they look like. So if they're all going to be the same color, we might have to do some nail polish. So let me go grab that. Oh my goodness. That's called popcorning. It's from a breeze. They think it's mom coming. So that's a great sign when they're like that. It means they're healthy. When they don't popcorn at this age, it always concerns me because they're lacking that energy. So obviously they've been taken really well care of. So I got my nail polish colors here. This doesn't hurt the babies. So I have the blue, red, yellow primary colors. If I have 3, I try to do that. Always try to have them be far apart. Other times I've done clear, purple, just trying to have them be not obvious in case, because it does flick off. It comes off in a couple of days. So we're going to color them at the same time as the weigh scale so we know who we're talking about. So I'm going to pause here, get that done. Okay, so interesting enough, I'm going to put that lid back on. Woo. Interesting enough, put them into the back of the cage there. They were each about 10 grams apart. So we have blue was at 94. Red, who was the popcorn baby, passionate, hence red, is 86. And then the little small guy who wasn't moving much when I got him, moving now, yellow, is 75. So they're all about 10 grams apart. This one's probably a bit of a runt, and that's why he hasn't been moving very much. And the difficult part at this age is finding any discernible markings to tell them apart from the others. And at the moment, he might have little white toesies. I can't for sure tell that. It looks way too even. They usually have white markings on the forehead, but it looks like they don't for this one. So it looks like he's just going to be a yellow. So I have my milk that's been heated, in a water bath. And I got fur all over that. Let's just rinse that. Rinse, rinse. That aside. He just bit me, so he's definitely hungry. And a baby bunny bite at this age is not painful. I check the temperature. Perfect. It's a little bit warmer than my skin. And now it's difficult to see. I'm not going to do a great view because I'm just more concerned about getting his first meal. It's Wombaroo that I'm using. And I'm using a Medicam style syringe. And what I like about this one is that you see those little nodules? It makes it so I can slowly dispense the milk and a click, click, click sensation compared to the rubber ones when it's much more difficult. It's just plastic. The rubber ones, they make it so it gets sticky. So you see the little thing. This isn't closed, so whenever he popcorns, it just lifts. But these ones I like because you can boil them and keep them nice and clean and sanitary without having to worry about them becoming sticky from the rubber disuse. Red is hungry. Did you know that? One thing I'm being careful of as well is any milk that goes down the side of their faces. These are static matic, I think is what they're called at Dollarama. They're the most absorbent microfiber cloth I have found. So I don't want the milk to cause dermatitis and for them to get irritated skin around their mouths. So instead of it being wet, I've wiped it away because they're too young to clean themselves. Usually mom would. And my goal here is 1.5 cc's just for now. And then tonight, because it's midday right now, tonight I will get more into them. But they've gone through a traumatic morning. They were found at 6 a.m. this morning at the radio station. And it was our first really cold night for the summer. It's mid-September. So they got really cold. And I don't want to shock their organs too much with too much to do. So just a bit to start. Let them get used to the idea of the nipple. He's got very good color in his gums and his lips. These guys still aren't moving in my chest. So I think we're just going to have 3. We're not going to have 5. Which was pretty much what we were thinking to begin with. I know the hip hoppy you hear behind me. That is Pua and Hey Hey, which you have not met yet. Who you have not met yet. They are some crazy babies. Pua is about 2 days older than Hey Hey. They were different sizes, different fur growth when we got them, and their eyes opened 2 days apart. Pua was also much more advanced developmentally compared to Hey Hey, as far as learning how to eat, learning how to move, ears, eyes, using those. So I'll show you them in a second. They're hard to see. Pua is black, nice shiny black coat, has always been very fat. Hey Hey's always been pretty lanky and has a black sable coat. So instead of having black on the outside and black down into the rings, when you blow into their fur, the rings, they're usually all black for a black rabbit. Hey Hey, when you, on the outside, he was gray as a baby. Now he's like a dark brown black on the top. You blow in and it's white, like a grayish white. So we call that a sable in the show world. If I remember correctly, it's been a few years. I'll show you his little, he's not doing the best at swallowing. Hey. It's all around his mouth. Little tiny guy. So I have them at a 45-degree angle, as you can see here, just so that everything can run out, but it's still encouraged to go to the back of his throat. And I'm making sure it's not too much at a time. It's basically wetting his tongue. Not much more than that, so that he doesn't aspirate while trying to breathe. When they get better at nursing and they start sucking on the needle rather than just being reactive to it like they are now, I use 3 ml syringe. Then we go up to 6, then we go up to 10. And usually by 10, when they're starting to bite the nipple and leaving holes in the nipple, that's when we time to wean. And that's around 3 or 4 weeks. And mom would do the same thing. The mom would not stand for having her nipples being bitten, obviously. Hi. I start offering them pellets around 2 weeks when their eyes are opening, just so they can smell it. They have access to the fresh grass. And in the winter, I don't usually have babies, but I'll grow oat grass and just cut it and give it to them, or have it in a little tray like you would for cat grass, so they can eat that. But typically I have no spray grass in my backyard, and I let that grow long along the edges of things, around my pots, around my fencing, and I cut it once a week and bring it inside so I have access to fresh grass hay, because I'm allergic to hay that you can buy in store. Okay, little dude fed. Let's see how much he actually swallowed, because he did spit a lot out. And now he's licking my finger, because I know you're still hungry, buddy, but if you're not going to swallow that much. So he went from 75 to 77, so we got 2 cc's in. And for a first feed, for a little tiny guy like this, I will take that. We're going to aim for 6 cc's tonight, following the Wombaroo guideline. It should be 11 a day that he's eating. But for his first day, we're going to let him have a slack. We're going to let him have a little bit of a slack and just get used to being domesticated now.